What? Die. I don't know what it is, if it's the controls or something, but I just get so frustrated at this game. So frustrated at this game. No!
So, for context, I was just hanging out with my friend Sky one night, and he was like, "Oh hey, I brought over this really cool game. I think you should play it." I had been kind of wanting to start streaming games for the channel, so I was interested. I thought maybe this could be a great game to start with. I had seen Crash Bandicoot before, but I honestly I had no idea what the games were like. So I do remember a long time ago, there's this vacation place we always go to that had Crash Team Racing, and I don't think we may have played it like once or twice ever, but just the cover of that game is pretty nostalgic to me. I guess the only other experience I had with this game was, I guess I played a level of it, I think it was the first level in Uncharted 4. There's in part of the story in Uncharted 4, you get to play Crash Bandicoot as Nathan Drake, which is kind of cool.
Crash Bandicoot.
Is there a problem?
No, just, they make it go.
So you want to run towards the camera?
Run to the camera, got it.
So that was basically the only thing I knew about it. So yeah, heading into the game, I'll admit, I was a little naive. I was thinking I could just, come in there, sit back, relax, and enjoy a nice platforming game on the stream. I would come to find that I was horribly mistaken, and that there would be no relaxing.
I don't need to know what it's called. I've seen you play. It's
Right.
Jumping and running, and I have a natural talent for that.
So here's the gist of Crash Bandicoot 1. It's a 3D platformer from the old school days, where games didn't explain a whole lot. They just threw you in there and said good luck. You play as Crash, a genetically altered bandicoot who spins fruit like it's his full-time job. What's your goal? Survive, spin around, kill enemies, and save your bandicoot girlfriend or something.
Who is that? That does not look like a wild animal.
And you gotta take down that evil scientist, Dr. Neo Cortex. So the game is divided into 3 islands. Island 1 is a lot of jungle themes with, I guess, some of the more basic platforming. It's got rivers, native ruins, and it's also probably got your first rage quit.
See, I don't get this. What? What? And I failed. Alright, that's it. That's it. I'm done. I need to stop, or I'm gonna be way too mad.
And then Island 2 ramps it up a little bit with temples, factories, and way more death traps.
I get a hopeful every level, like maybe this one won't make me want to kill myself, and then I'm absolutely wrong every time.
And then Island 3 puts you in high-tech labs, lightning towers, of course, and a Cortex flying airship. Everything wants to kill you here, and the floor often just gives out. Every island is simple and has a linear path. You beat a level, you go on to the next one. And then every few levels, you get a nice boss fight. These boss fights are where you encounter Cortex's failed experiments. Every level is just a platforming gauntlet. You move forward, you avoid hazards, you defeat enemies, and most importantly, you break crates. Now, there are a couple different types of crates here. Normal crates with Wumpa fruit, which I believe I referred to as apples many of times. Checkpoint crates, which I happen to like those. TNT crates, which give you 3 seconds to freak out and run around and probably kill yourself.
No! I hit the TNT! I'm gonna fucking die! I'm gonna fucking die! Wait, hold on. I'll never die. That was genius. Big brain move.
Arrow crates that bounce you directly upwards, and the occasional question mark crates, which are full of mystery and can sometimes give you a bunch of fruit. Now, what you want to do is break all of them, literally all of them. That's part of this game. You just got to be breaking crates a lot. Then there's a couple collectibles. There's the Wumpa fruits, of course, which when you get 100 of them, you get an extra life. Now, I needed to do that a lot. Then there's the gems, which I didn't even try to get any of those. You gotta break every crate in the level to get a gem. See, it was a challenge enough for me to just beat the levels. So I wasn't really ready for that. And you know what? Maybe now I could go back and try to get some of them. If you want to see that, let me know and maybe I'll stream it. But no, that was not a high priority for me. And then if you've got the Insane Trilogy, you can get relics by doing some of these time trials. This is what you can expect on a Crash Bandicoot level. You enter the level, You break the crates, you try really hard not to die, but you inevitably do a lot, and you get the gem, maybe, probably not. And then you repeat until your soul just gets so exhausted that you have to do something else. It's a very basic linear structure, it's very brutal in its execution, and yet somehow it's kind of fun. But it was level 3 when I first started to feel the frustration. Maybe it was because I hadn't played through a proper platformer in a while, or maybe I was just really bad. I don't know, but whatever the reason, this level is what marked my love-hate relationship with Crash 1.
No! Jump high enough! This game, jump fucking high enough! Holy shit, I hate this game. Up here. Get absolutely owned by this fucking tribal dude. Alright, jump. Smash. There, got him. Go back to your tribe, bitch.
No!
It's kind of working out. Except for that guy sucks. That bitch. Okay, die. Okay, he's dead. Those tribal guys all need to be fucking rounded up and shot. Why did I go for it? What in my brain told me that I should go for it there? I'm out of lives now, so I'm probably gonna have to restart this damn... What? I'm not gonna lie, guys. I suck at this game. I'm not gonna lie.
Now, you may have noticed at times how ignorant I am of the basic mechanics of this game. I was calling Wumpa Fruits apples.
Give me all the apples.
I was calling bonus stages woman levels.
I achieved woman. Wait, no, wait. Woman got stolen.
And these little tokens, I was calling them woman coins.
2 out of 3 women. Oh, I got 3 out of 3 women.
You know, I probably could have made use out of this whole guidebook Sky gave me, but I guess not. Alright, so let's talk about this little thing called gems. In the original Crash Bandicoot, gems were brutal. To get a clear gem, you had to break every crate in a level without dying once. That includes every hidden box, the bonus level crates, and the ones that are tucked away in weird sadistic corners of the map. But in the Insane Trilogy, they kind of changed it a little bit. The remake still makes you break every crate for a gem, but dying is a little more forgiving. Most levels let you die a few times, and you'll still get the gem, unless it's one of those old school no-death levels. There's a couple gems that are still locked behind a flawless run. And then there's some colored gems. Red, blue, green. You get them by doing deathless runs on certain levels, and they can unlock new routes in other stages. So if you're missing crates in certain levels, it might be because you haven't unlocked a path that you need from another gem. So that means you can't get the clear gem until you go back and get the colored gem from another level. So yeah, Crash doesn't want you to just beat the game. It wants you to master it. You need to memorize every route, know the location of every crate. And sometimes, the only difference between you and 100% of a level or the game is one crate. And you don't know where it's at. So yeah, this is a remastered version of Crash 1. So I want to kind of go over the difference between this version and the original. The original Crash Bandicoot came out in 1996. There were no analog sticks, no save anywhere options, and definitely no forgiving platforming physics. The game had tank controls, fixed camera angles, and hitboxes that felt like they were held together by duct tape and hope. Fast forward to the Insane Trilogy, and visually this game is a major glow-up, fully recreated from the ground up by
Vicarious visions!
You got all the recreated textures and sound effects, recreated animations, cinematic lighting, the environments are lush, and Crash actually has fur. He no longer looks like this. But here's where it gets a little tricky. Although it looks modern, it looks fun, it looks easy to enjoy, it still plays kind of, it still plays like the original. So apparently the remake uses Crash 3's physics engine across all 3 of the games. So Crash does move a little differently than the original. So his momentum and jump arcs and landing hitboxes, they're more precise, but they're also less forgiving, especially on the jumps. In the original game, Crash landed on sort of a invisible square pad. Even if you clipped the edge of a platform, the game would often give it to you. In the Insane Trilogy, if you're not dead center, you're dead, period.
Those jumps.
So some levels that were kind of hard, like the high road or slippery climb, are now even harder because the margin of error is smaller. It's like putting a nice fresh coat of paint on a guillotine. Also, saving in the original Crash 1. In the Insane Trilogy, thank God, you can just save at any time. It's like, I like the Sonic games, so it kind of reminds me of Sonic 1, I would never want to go back and try to beat Sonic 1 on the Sega Genesis. That would be hell. That's exactly why I'm never going to do that with this game. And of course, the original didn't have any of the time trial stuff. But yeah, the Insane Trilogy added relics, so it's just another reason to go and stress out. Because yeah, if beating a level wasn't enough, now you gotta beat it fast, too. Thanks, I guess. So here's the thing about Crash 1. It looks cute. It seems fun. But deep down, it's a dark, cold, box-breaking labyrinth of secrets with bottomless pits and pain. Which is why the Insane Trilogy has a guidebook. And man, it's a lifesaver. First off, yes, physical guidebooks, they still exist. This one actually covers all 3 games in the trilogy, but it's especially useful for Crash 1. Back in the day, Crash 1 didn't hold your hand. It didn't even tell you which levels had colored gems. You just kind of guessed and hoped you didn't waste 30 minutes trying to do a perfect run on a level that didn't even have a colored gem. The guidebook fixes that. It shows you which levels have clear gems and colored gems, and it shows you where all the hidden crates are, especially the ones that don't appear unless you hit a switch crate 20 seconds earlier that's on the other side of a death pit. And then it shows you how to unlock like certain secret paths and stuff, because in Crash 1, a lot of crates are locked behind gem paths, so you're going to have to come back with the right colored gem. Without the guide, you might think you're just bad at the game, when really, it's just hiding stuff from you. Oh, and the boss strategies. Not that the bosses are really the hard part of the game at all, but if you're already raging from slippery climb, it's nice to breeze through something with a little bit of prep. Honestly, if you're going for 100%, or god forbid 105%, it turns Crash 1 from a mystery box of pain to a nice, organized checklist of pain. But you know, at least you know what to do. So yeah, shout out to the old Insane Trilogy guide here. If only I had used it at all. That's right, I didn't use the damn thing once. I'll say one great part about this game being so difficult for me was the feeling of beating a level was just great. You know, because some of them I had spent the course of 2 streams just trying to beat the dang thing. And the more mad I got, the worse I got at
What
it.
in the damn it?
So when I eventually beat that level, it was just a great feeling. And then beating the game, that was another amazing feeling. But you know, I was a little stressed beating the game too because I knew I was going to play through 2 and 3. Luckily, I came to find that they're much easier games. So if you want to see videos on them, smash on the like button, please.
This Bandicoot will be my general. He will lead my Cortex commandos to world domination.
Crash Bandicoot was just a regular old Bandicoot. He was just living his best life in a jungle for some reason, until he got captured by the evil Dr. Neo Cortex. This motherfricker, a mad scientist with a head shaped like a light bulb fittingly. His evil plan was to create an army of mutant animals using his Evolvo Ray. This was all part of his overall scheme for world domination. He's a villain. He's a bad guy. He's not very good. So, you know, very, very compelling story off the bat. Now, Crash was going to have the honor of being Cortex's mutant general, but like most of them, his experiment failed. Crash actually rejected the brainwashing part of this process. He freaked out and he yeeted himself right out the damn window. But here's the kicker. Cortex didn't just mess with Crash, he messed with another Bandicoot, Crash's girlfriend. Because Bandicoots, they have girlfriends, they're really cool. Her name was Tawna, and she was next in line for evil science. The story's great. So what does Crash do? He sets off on a quest across these 3 evil islands. Along the way, he fights some of these mutant animals, and it's all to stop Cortex and rescue Tawna. During this adventure, you meet Aku Aku. It's a floating mask that protects Crash and says, "What have I got?" And then, of course, Cortex's army of failed experiments. Just regular old guys, like guys who throw test tubes at you, guys made of boulders, and a kangaroo on a pogo stick. And then you get yourself to Cortex's airship, where he just shoots lasers at you. So, of course, Crash destroys him and saves Tawna, and he's a hero Bandicoot guy. So that's the story. He was supposed to be evil. He wasn't evil. He saved the frickin' woman from the bad guy, you know? It's basically the damn Smurfs, you know? Gargamel made the frickin' Smurfs or something, probably, I think. And the Smurfs probably at some point saved Smurfette from Gargamel.
First of all, Papa Smurf didn't create Smurfette. Gargamel did. She was sent in as Gargamel's evil spy with the intention of destroying the Smurf village. But the overwhelming goodness of the Smurf way of life transformed her. Well, they don't even have reproductive organs under those little white pants.
That's all the story needed to be, you know? You don't need a super compelling story about a Bandicoot. It's just a freaking Bandicoot. Look at that. That should have been This man should have the same fame as Mario. So here's one thing I want to talk about. Bridge levels. These levels are the real bosses of Crash Bandicoot 1. The concept is very simple. You walk across this narrow wooden bridge, jump over gaps, enemies, and broken wooden planks. You avoid icy platforms and turtles, and you just don't fall to your death. But in practice, it's like platforming on a tightrope that was oiled and then set on fire. Some planks fall, some are slippery, some are just decorative lies. They look solid and then they just vanish when you touch them. And then the enemies are always in the most inconvenient spots possible.
Damn. Go, go, go. He's not on anything. He's fucking floating. It's a magical boar.
The hitboxes in this game. I mean, you try to jump on the rope, you're slipping off and falling. You think you can make a jump, you're just barely short, you fall again. You run out of lives, you restart, same thing happens over and over again. You try different strategies, they all fail. And then you go to bed mad. You'll make it towards the end of the bridge level and you'll be like, all right, I'm finally getting this down. I'm finally understanding how to get past these certain parts. And then you'll just see like a turtle in this random spot and you don't know what to do. You don't know whether you can jump on this turtle, you don't know. And then are you supposed to bounce off the turtle and how far can you go and do you need momentum? And it's just, they throw curveballs at you towards the end of this extremely difficult level. And so now you're like, what do I do here? Because I know I'm going to fail this. I haven't done it before. You basically just have to continuously kill yourself until you start to understand things. And you truly do have to master these levels to get past them. You know, this is what makes or breaks a Crash player.
Oh my god, I did it.
If you can beat these bridge levels, you're cut out to play the Crash games. If you can't, it's just not for you. And then there's that rope trick. The wonderful people in my chat, and yes, they were wonderful. They showed up to a lot of these streams. They were very supportive. And they're the reason I'm going to play through all the Crash games. And the reason I'm making this video, honestly. You know, they said, just do the rope hack. Just get on the side of the rope and then just go walking along. And you know, that is its own challenge. Because that rope has a freaking hitbox like no other I'd ever seen. It is so hard to just balance on that rope. And you do get better with practice. But it's still a challenge. You have to wonder when it's safe to get on the rope. Can I afford to make this jump onto the rope? You know, you can't overcorrect. But also in some spots, it's not even worth jumping onto the rope because there's an enemy right there that might hurt you. So it's just a very frustrating little mechanic. It's a cheat. And yes, you can get past certain parts with ease with it. It's kind of, I don't know, it kind of delays the inevitable because you do just have to genuinely get good at some of these parts if you're going to beat the level. And if you just try to pass it all with the rope, you forego your opportunity to learn and grow. So yeah, the bridge levels, fittingly, they're not just difficult, they're a rite of passage. There's a moment where every Crash player asks, is this fun? You know, is this still fun? Or have I just accepted pain as a lifestyle? So I guess let's touch on the bosses really quick. There's 6 bosses. If you're expecting a Dark Souls style boss here on a game that's kind of hard, you'd expect kind of a hard boss. That's actually not the case. I think the one I had the most struggles with was Ripperoo, and it wasn't even really with the boss itself, it's just the actual, that early in the game I was still getting used to the precision of the jumping. So jumping from box to box, it was kind of hard to keep landing on them, so I was often falling off, but the boss wasn't too hard, and that was the worst of it. And that still was nowhere near any of these difficult levels. So to wrap up my experience with Crash 1, you know, although it looks like a new game, you can definitely tell that it's from the past, but I think it did a great job of keeping it faithful. I'm glad I beat it because I feel like I proved something to myself. You know, I had no idea this would be a difficult game, and maybe it's not for a lot of people. You know, maybe a lot of you people watching this are like, wow, you must really suck to have to talk about how hard this game was. It's just a basic platformer. I don't know. You know, I haven't played every damn platformer that's ever existed. All right, I grew up on some Sonic games, and that's about the extent of that. But you know what? I'm proud that I got through this game because, geez, some of those levels, the state of mind I was in during these streams was probably not healthy. But I beat it, and now, currently, I'm enjoying the privilege of playing through the other Crash games. You know, I'm almost through, as of recording this, I'm almost through Crash 2. Loving that game. You never know what to expect when you're going into a new level of Crash. You don't know where you're going to be at or how the level's going to be structured. It's just very cool, and I respect it for that. And playing Crash 2, it looks like they just kind of expanded on that mentality, and I'm really liking it. So I'm happy Although I'm frustrated with Crash 1, I'm happy I played through it, and I'm very happy that I beat it. But I will say this, I don't want 100% it. I don't want to do that. The only way I will do that is if this video like blows up or something. Yeah, that was Crash 1. What a game.
I'm really happy, actually, to be honest. Fuck everything! I'm deleting the fucking channel.